Hello, I thought I'd jump on and share the clan mother for the 11th moon cycle, just as the sun is setting over here, so that's pretty cool. And our full moon dropped in a few days ago, so we are already in the journey of Walks Tall Woman now, who is the clan mother for the 11th moon cycle, November. And interestingly, this month is when we have the two full moons. So for myself personally, and for some people actually in the US, I think, like in the Northern Hemisphere, we had two full moons in October. So this 11th moon cycle may have dropped in on the 31st of October for you, and then for my friends in the East Coast in Australia, and of course in Fiji, and in South Australia as well, it dropped in on the 1st of November. So this is what gives us the 13 moons in the year, 13 moon cycles. So we're up to the 11th one, and we are looking at Walks Tall Woman, which I've been reading the story, and it's actually she's pretty cool. Can relate to this one quite a lot. Like last month we had Weaves the Web, so the 10th moon cycle was Weaves the Web, and you can hopefully now start to see the build up, from one to the next, and then into the next. So last month was about action and weaving the web for the creative desire that you wish to create. Walks Tall Woman is about taking the action but walking your talk, really, which is really, really cool. I'll share a little bit of the story in a minute because I think it's quite relevant to where we are at the moment. And my friend Medicine Crow, who is just a massive advocate for helping the WICs, making sure we've got the women in charge. He's been talking about this for quite a while, but we are in the feminine era now, if you like, and the whole patriarchal side of things is starting to crumble and dissipate. So that's pretty cool. But Walks Tall Woman. So we'll read the poem, and then I'll give you a little bit of a recite, if you like, of the first few pages, and then I'll just give you a bit of a recap of the story in terms of how I see it fitting. Before we get started, okay, I'm helping you out of the 13 Clan Mothers book by Jamie Sands. Super grateful that she created this and put it together so that we've got access to it. I'm also grateful for anyone that shares ancestral knowledge, that continues to pass things down. And telling stories is an amazing way to be. I know that for me personally today, I got to share some time with other people and listen to them tell me stories and me tell them stories, and it just made so much of a difference. Okay, so you can record things, because we talked about that today too. You can record different things. It doesn't always give you the same effect as telling someone a story. So remember that, okay? Always share your stories verbally and in person if you can. And of course you can do it this way as well. The reason I get on and teach and do this sort of stuff is because I get lots of messages through other people's actions, through people's words, through the awareness that things don't come into my line of sight unless I need to be aware of something that's attached to them, right? And lately I've been seeing lots of wolves and hearing people talk to me about sharing and teaching. And today I had a bit of a reflection, and I was thinking about some things that mentors have told me in the past, and one of them was a question to ask yourself. So maybe this is a journal question, but it was a question to ask yourself around if there were things in your day that you never experienced again, and that you didn't feel good, what would they be? Or the other way to think about it is, what is something that you would love to experience every day in your life that would help you to feel fulfilled? And I know that the days stack on top of each other and we're really busy and we're always running around, but there will be one thing, okay? Or there'll be a few things. For me, there's a few things, and one of them is teaching and sharing. And if I haven't done it enough, I really feel low. So, ta-da, more videos. And then I need to have fun, I need to have humour, I really enjoy being outside. And these are just things that you've got to remember. Got my puppies in here and they're having a bit of a snooze. So let's have a chat, right? Walks tall woman. You walk in beauty, mother, allowing all to see the glory of great mystery that sets your spirit free. Guided by the bliss inside you, walking it through your deeds, never needing another's approval, your heart's truth takes the lead. With focus and directness, you teach me how to walk, balancing thought and action instead of misusing talk. I stand straight in your presence, I hold my head up high, with my feet rooted in Mother Earth, my arms embracing Father Sky. So walks tall woman is the woman of walking her talk. I have vivid memories of another mentor who, I love this saying, I use it quite a lot, I listen to the tongue in your shoe before I listen to the tongue in your mouth. And that's all about taking action, okay? Your actions match your words, that sort of thing. Walks tall woman is the clan mother of November. We talked about that. She's all about walking your truth, and she's connected to the colour white. So white is all about magnetism and how to use authority and will properly. So this is all about, okay, so the last few months you've been crafting your vision, you've really been anchoring into things, maybe you've been tapping into your heart to work out what it is that you truly desire, and this talks about your heart's desires as well. And then what you're doing is you're watching things unfold. Last month you learned about actually creating the desires in your life by first making sure that you have a web with which to support you and also to support those desires and to support the people that are important to you. This one is all about walking your talk. Walks tall woman shows the children of earth how to lead through example instead of insisting that others follow the leader. So walks tall woman, if you looked at it from a development perspective, she would be really good for people in leadership to have a look at and to really embrace and learn the journey. And I have seen quite a bit about vulnerability being floated around. I know that Brené Brown, her big thing is vulnerability, but even lately there's been a bit of talk around that. The other thing that I find fascinating, I'm probably jumping a little bit, but the other thing that I find fascinating with this and with my own personal journey in the last week or so is the number of times I've had people say to me, oh, so you are human, right? And as I explain some of Walks Tall Woman's story, you'll understand what I mean by that, which is fascinating. Okay, I relate to all the clan mothers, but I really relate to this one. She teaches us how to change life situations through taking actions ourselves and not depending on others to do it for us. But her journey is to learn the art of having a rest. Why I think I relate to it. Walks tall woman teaches us how to be proud of our accomplishments through self-esteem, not self-importance. She shows us that the more we refine our skills, the happier we are with ourselves. She understands that actions always speak louder than words, and that when we are living examples of our philosophies, we are walking our personal truths. The thing is too, if you haven't worked out what your own personal philosophy is, then how can you walk it, So you've got to spend a little bit of time working out what it is that's important to you. If you haven't done an exercise of creating values, maybe you need to sit down and think about that. What are your top values? Become aware of yourself. This journey is all about understanding self so that you can then show up as your best self, right? When we walk the truth, there is no need to fear what others think of us. Reputation is based upon integrity and inner knowing, not on the opinion of others who may be jealous or insecure about themselves. She teaches us that it's through our relationship to the great mystery or great spirit and to life that we know and honour ourselves and our spirits. She is the guardian of leadership and the keeper of new pathways. Now, this is the other thing, right? Walks Tall Woman is all about innovation. She is looking at tradition. She doesn't destroy tradition. She's looking at traditions and she's just seeing if there's ways that she's able to add to the ancestral path that's already been there in order for it to grow into a new direction. So if you think about anchoring back into your inner knowing, I even feel different when I talk about this, but anchoring back into your inner knowing and then thinking about ways that perhaps you can live your truth and still be true to who you are. That'll drop in for some people. She also teaches us the value of health, because she also is the teacher, the guardian of perseverance and strength. Perfectly timed, you know. Get in and look after your body. We've been talking about that for the last few months. This book is written in terms of Native American Indian medicine as such. But it screams Australia to me. Why? Because we are now in the warm season. Our 11th cycle, November cycle, is warm. So it's a perfect opportunity to look after your body. It's the perfect opportunity to fuel your body, to look after your body so that it lasts for a long time, to learn how to connect to your body, to use it to the best of its ability, but to continue to build it up. This clan mother learns about rest, remember? So rest is extremely important, and about showing herself as a true human, you know, not always being superwoman. She talks about using your mind and to use the body and the mind gracefully, which I really love that side of things. She talks about how to honour the body's need by balancing physical activity, proper attitudes, good eating and sleeping habits, and hygiene. Teaches us that we can persevere, meeting our goals when the body is healthy. Stamina comes from treating the body with care. To use persistence in a proper way, we're taught how to be tenacious, using all our gifts of health, attitude, self-reflection and spirit to meet our challenges head on. Walks Tall shows us how to keep our eyes on the goal, our feet on the path, and the truth in our hearts, never waiting for another to do it for us. So much relevance dropping in, right? So the story with Walks Tall woman is about showing the clan that she's working with innovative ways, you know, to succeed. And she does it in a way that she really pushes her human body, and she really excels, but to the point where she overachieves, and she beats even all the men in the clan at this trail race that they have. But in doing so, she then teaches them how to do that. So she does it by finding innovative ways to dial into her body, to connect into her legs, to run like the wind. And the animals that are mentioned in this one are horse, because she's given the horse as a prize for when she wins. And horse is, I love horse. Like, I know when I was doing some work myself before, horse is, in my mind, horse is freedom, okay? But horse is about freedom, endurance, power, and all of that sort of stuff. But horse is in there. There is also the mountain lion or puma in here. And this side of the story for her is quite interesting, because mountain lion is what she's running from in terms of when she's scouting the trail. And when mountain lion and her meet towards the end of the story, and because she's given herself enough rest, mountain lion actually has message for her. And mountain lion says to her, you know, you ran past me, I watched you. You had more than enough time to stop and talk to me, to heed the lessons and the messages that I wanted to provide to you. But instead you chose to focus on your goal, and you smashed the goal, but at the same time smashed the ego, if you like, but also just smashed the men that she was competing with, because she just overachieved. Whereas she had the time to actually sit there and listen to mountain lion. She could have learnt the lesson earlier, right? But as the story goes, she's got mountain lion lessons in there too, but also she has skunk. And the skunk reference is pretty cool, right? If you treat your life a certain way, then everything stinks, basically. So you've got to look after yourself, and you've got to take the time. Now, the reason that she learns the journey and the lesson around rest and rejuvenation, if you like, or relaxation, is because she teaches the men how to succeed. The men then compete in these games amongst all the tribes, and they win. So that lifts everyone's spirit, everyone's happy. But what she finds is that as it gets into the fall and the colder months, the bickering starts again, and especially between the women. And she's just not sure why. So she goes out with the horse, and she lays down on the leaves and soaks in the sun and allows herself to have a rest. But she hasn't done that for quite a while. And during that rest is when she drops into dream time, and that's when she gets the messages from Mountain Lion and all that sort of stuff, which is way cool. But really for her it was such a big breakthrough because Puma talks about the way that she actually lived her life by leading by example, okay? And by leading by example, she does that, but through the overachievement and through the desire to always better herself. Sometimes it can appear to be unachievable by others, or it just blows everyone away. So, what's it saying? It would break the back of most people to be able to compete or to even be close to living the life the way that you're living it. So the importance of the rest and of showing people that you're actually human is the lesson for her. And she doesn't notice it at first, and I can totally relate to this. Have I forgotten to perform some duty or to take some action that would show others the integrity of my walk? She's asking Lioness, and Mountain Lion says, no, Mother, you have been a fine example to your children. You have taken the actions needed. You have always been compassionate, caring and forthright. You have showed your children new paths and innovative ways of correcting wrong attitudes and how to follow their heart's desires. But you have not balanced action with the strength of inaction. You have been so busy doing that you have forgotten to take the time you need to reflect and regroup your thoughts, dreams and energy. This is the first time during your earth walk that you have rested and released enough of your needs to be the perfect example to let down the barriers that keep you from being human. So that just shocks her, which I can relate to. So leading through example is a beautiful trail, Mother. If you are being an example to other human beings, it is necessary to show that being human is not to be judged as having weaknesses. Allowing the tears to flow is the first step in transformation. Making mistakes is the way that skills are honed to precision. You have mastered perseverance. You have mastered innovation. You have mastered taking action. Now it is time you make the commitment to allow yourself to become female. So people that work with me, they understand why I may find this side of it funny as well. Feeling and human being. So her journey is to learn those aspects. So how to be a female, how to have feeling, and how to be human. That vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness. Buried deep inside of you is the truth you have feared. You felt that if you slowed down and took a retreat when you needed it, the truth would be able to catch up with you. The truth is that you're human. So this is really cool, right? And Puma then goes on to talk about different things with her in terms of her capacity, the way that she can work with women as well. And the biggest message I guess in this is this is the clan mother side of things. This is all talking about women. Perfect timing to do this, guys. I say guys, I'm saying girls. Perfect timing to do this because if you think about it, a woman's cycle has high days and low days in terms of energy, right? And you can try as much as you like to get around that. Trust me, I have tried. But it's going against the laws of nature. So there are a few days every cycle where you need to be quiet, where you need to have a rest. And it's in those moments where the sisterhood, I guess, steps into things. And perhaps that's where we need to work as a collective in terms of the community a little bit more. So that when you are feeling tired, you need that rest, that you've got other sisters around you that you can call on who might be able to look after your kids, who might be able to step in and do some dinners, who might just be able to give you a bit of a break just for a period of time to allow you to draw the energy from the earth, the moon, the beach, the forests, the deserts, the plants, whatever it is that you use to draw internal energy. It's not external. This is like a quiet period. And then you're able to come out and really get together and connect. So connect with different ways. So not everyone is crafty. but we are all creative. So there are different ways for you to do that. Yeah, and that is the 11th moon cycle. She's all about doing that, right? Walk your talk, lead by example, and remember that you are human, that you are vulnerable, that you are needed, that you are extremely important, that you are good enough, and that you can do absolutely anything. But that we have to remember, right, we are human, so it means that we need to give the body a rest, and we need to fuel the body, we need to care for the body, we need to look after the body. It's all really important. 20 minutes. This one is a little bit longer than normal, but I think it's because I so totally relate to it. The other thing that she talks about in this, and I'll finish on this, is referring to the bird, which is a quetzal. Now, I had to look up what a quetzal was, but quetzal carries the medicine of being totally free, uninhibited spirit who is willing to express all aspects of the self. And if caught and caged, the quetzal actually dies. It's so important for you to understand what your heart's desire is and to understand what freedom means to you. Look within and have a look at it in terms of, if there are certain things that you could experience every day that would help you to feel fulfilled, what would they be? And do that. So I hope you enjoyed that. Walks Tall Woman's going to be running us through till the end of this month, right? And then our next full moon drops in. And I'm really looking forward to it. So feel free to share. Hopefully it hasn't gotten too dark towards the end. Drop me a comment, like, subscribe, all the normal YouTube stuff. I will also pop a link up for you to buy me a coffee. So if you have experienced some sort of revelation or you're really liking what I'm doing with this, feel free to give me a donation, basically. I've set it at $5, $5 Australian dollars, because that's about how much a coffee is. But yeah, feel free to share this as well if you find that someone resonates with it. And if you can, get yourself a copy of the book if you want to start doing your own work with it, journey work. Otherwise, I'll see you next month for the 12th Plan Mother, or I might see you for some other videos.